Hello everybody and welcome back to the FallenRedZeo Show. I'm back with more NECA cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Target exclusive action figures, and this time we have the newest set of Rat King and Vernon. So this is a pretty weird set, I would say. Not necessarily an essential set, especially if you're trying to get most of the main characters for the Ninja Turtles, but we have Rat King over here, which looks very weird, but as the title says, he's the king of the rats, so he has a lot to do with rats. We get some rat to go along with him, which I do think is pretty cool. I think it's awesome to get the rats, and it kind of fits perfectly in with the turtles being related to like Splinter and everything, being a rat, so that's pretty cool. And then we get Vernon, which is April's cameraman from Channel 6 News. So he pretty much just comes with the camera set, but then we also get the accessories to change him out to turn into the rat version of him when Rat King dumps mutagen on his head and turns him into a rat. So that's pretty cool, I think. But as I said, not the most necessary figures in your Ninja Turtle collection. Like I said, this is just if you want it, you can get it. Of course, we have the cartoon versions of the Rat King and Vernon down here at the bottom. And if we spin around there, we've got Vernon there kind of in a pose with the camera, like, what you talking about? And then go around here on the back and you can see the two of them posed there together, ready for attack. And then we got Vernon there with a bunch of rats on his arms and everything. So very cool looking set in my opinion. I'm excited to check these figures out. So let me go ahead and get these open and we'll check them out together. And we're starting off with the Rat King here. And he is a homeless man living in a sewer who was trying to establish a rat-controlled government, believing that rats were the superior creatures. So since he is a homeless man, you can see he has an outfit here that's kind of just put together. You can see all the different seams and stitches and stuff, just taking all sorts of different materials and sewing them all together to make an outfit here. So he looks pretty weird. So like up at his face, you can see he's got red hair sticking up there. It's kind of like a spiked up flat top there, but then he has some bandages or wraps there around his face that cover his nose and up on his forehead for some reason. Not sure why that is, but he just has those there, which look kind of funny. And then we got his outfit. So he has the brown upper body and green lower body there, and some sort of underwear design right there in the middle, but he's got also the straps and stuff. So he has some yellowish color straps there on his arms and around his waist, and then some brown ones on his lower legs going down to his feet. So just overall, just a very weird looking character, I think, kind of weird and creepy. So for his movements, those head there can twist all the way around. He can look down and look up there, so decent movements in the neck there. Shoulders come up 90 degrees and can rotate all the way around. We've got the bicep twist and a double elbow joint that can bend up that far there, and then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We have Zap Crunch right in there, so he can crunch back and forth and can twist side to side some. His hips come up a little bit before, so you can't get closer to 90 degrees, but they go out to the side there. He can be close to doing a split. He's got thigh twist a little bit up in there as well. Then we got a double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back, so not too bad, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So definitely a weird looking guy, and he comes with some weird accessories as well. So for hands, we get some extra hands. So we get two grip hands there, as you can see, and then we also get a pointing hand, so it can be like directing the rats. And to be able to call and contact the rats, he does come with a flute, so he's kind of like the Pied Piper, so he plays the flute and it calls rats, and then it even works on Master Splinter and everything, but we get this little flute there. He's also known for liking to make chemical concoctions and bombs, and so here we get a little bandolier that comes with 3 soda bombs, and we have 2 reds and a blue, and we can go and put this on his body, so you just got to get it up there around his head, kind of fit over his head there, and then it goes around his waist. So there he's got some soda bombs there on his chest. Since he does live in the sewer and is a bad guy, he's going to have contact with mutagen, so he does come with a mutagen container here, which is pretty cool compared to the others, because this one actually splits apart and opens, and you can see some weird gross mutagen looking stuff in there. And of course, finally, since he is the Rat King, he does come with some rats, so we get these 3 rats here that I think you can place around him. I assume like with this, you just take and wrap them around his hands, but yeah, it looks like their tails do have some movements. You have to be careful not to break them, but I may have to like look to be able to see how to put these on him. So there I was able to get some of the rats on him. So I was able to get one up there on his shoulder, one wrapped around his arm, and then this one I just kind of stuck like it's maybe sitting in his hand. So that's pretty cool that they have the tails that can wrap around, so you can easily get them like wrapped around on his arm and stuff. But I think that looks pretty cool. I actually really enjoy this, and it is pretty awesome there for Rat King. Like I didn't really care for him. Like when I saw him in the box, I'm like, oh, it's Rat King, you know, and to me, I've never seen him before, so I didn't really care for this too much, but I think with the rats and stuff, it kind of adds to it, makes it look awesome. And that leaves us with Vernon Fenwick, which is a cameraman at Channel 6 News, and he works with April a lot. You know, when she's on air, he's usually the cameraman behind it, but because of that also, he's kind of out for April and trying to take her job because he wants to be the famous news reporter. So he just looks like a normal guy, you know, just pretty normal, standard looking guy, and I like how it's, you know, from the 80s and everything, so it has a lot of the 80s colors with the bright pink shirt, which is awesome, the blue jeans that are up real high and has suspenders around it, tie around his collar, has a little pocket there around his belt, so maybe has a pocket knife or some sort of tool in it, and then has some white sneakers there on his feet. Otherwise, he's just a pretty standard guy. Like there's not a whole lot to, you know, not very discernible as a turtle figure or anything, but obviously if you've seen the show and seen the Channel 6 News and stuff, you would identify him from that, but otherwise just looks like a human. So for his movements, so his head there can twist all the way around, and he does have a joint up in his his neck, which again, it's going to be hard to separate out, but he has up in the neck, right at the head, and then right at the collar there too. So it has some additional movements, and again, it's going to be hard to like separate the two out, but it has decent movements overall in the head. The shoulders come up 90 degrees and can rotate all the way around if you kind of force it there. We get the double elbow style joint once again there, so if you bend it up and bend it again, so you get those two bends up in there, it does bend all the way up pretty far, which is awesome, and then there is some rotation in there as well. Then we have the wrist that can twist all the way around and flex back and forth. The right waist that you have, well, I guess would be a crunch, he shakes there, but he mostly just twists all the way around. Then we got the hips that come up 90 degrees out to the side that far, he can do the splits there, thigh twist up in there, double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back, and then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. And then his accessories, we got some open hands here, so he has 2 grip hands already, so we have just open flat hands, like maybe he'd be scared, like, oh, don't hurt me. And then we also get a pointing finger as well. Since he is a cameraman, he does come with a camera, so a camera pretty similar to what we got with the April pack, and so we got a nice big camera here that we can put into his hands. So there we got the camera up in his hands. If we go and bring our April in here too, we can put it together as a little scene like this, like she's shooting stuff for the news. So that's pretty cool that you can set this up together, have them together there for a Channel 6 news sort of team up. But then we also get some accessories where we can turn him into Rat Vernon. So we get a head here where he looks like a rat, and we get some hands and stuff that we can switch out as well, because there was one episode where the Rat King ended up capturing Vernon and dumping the mutagen on his head, which turned him into a rat because they were down in the sewers and around rats and everything. So it turned him into a rat, very similar to Splinter. So we can go and switch these parts out. So there we can have Vernon turned into his rat form, which I think looks pretty cool. A little bit dorky, but kind of cool at the same time. And it's awesome that we got him to go along with the Rat King, since the Rat King's the one that ended up turning him. And I think this set is pretty awesome. Like I said, 2 lower named characters, like for me personally, but I think they both look pretty awesome. 2 more great looking NECA figures, so I can't complain about that. There's nothing really to complain about at all. They're 2 great looking figures. But that's going to be it for our review today. So let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and have you picked these up from your Target. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.